Okay, let's talk sugar. A few statistics. According to the World Health Organization, the recommended daily allowance is 0 to 10% of your calories per day. If you were eating a 2,000 calorie diet, that would be 50 grams of sugar per day. But when I was counting calories and eating pretty mostly vegetable and good protein diet, it was really hard to get up to 2,000 calories. So actually, the American Heart Association says up to the recommendation from them is 100 calories per day for women. So that comes out to be about 25 grams, which is about 6 teaspoons of sugar. If you were a male, it would be 150 calories per day from sugar, and that comes out to be like 9 teaspoons of sugar. So health.com says the average person has about 22 teaspoons full of sugar a day. Now, a teaspoon, if it's level, it's got 4 grams of sugar in it. If it's a heaping teaspoon, it's got 7.5 milligrams of sugar or grams of sugar in it. So that can vary a lot from the statistics. And, you know, sugar is just going to increase our obesity, the chance of developing diabetes or cancer. It's going to increase our heart risk disease. And it also increases non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And as I mentioned earlier, we want to be nice to our liver and decrease its toxic load. And sugar is definitely a toxin that we don't want to have our livers work in filtering out. So just as a perspective, 1 can of Coke has 140, it's a 12-ounce can of Coke has 140 grams or 140 calories of sugar in it. And then a regular size Snicker bar has 120 calories of sugar in it. So sugar is found in obviously the sweetened soft drinks, energy drinks, iced teas. It's also found in refined grains, which is like our packaged baked goods and breads, pastas, salad dressings, condiments, frozen foods, canned soup, in our sauces, including tomato sauce. So it's pretty much everywhere, unfortunately. And if we're trying to eliminate sugar, according to Healthline, they say if you have a sugar addiction, just like with cigarettes, you just may have to quit cold turkey. And if you did have a sugar addiction, that would mean that in prior times you've tried to eliminate sugar, but you, no matter what you do, you just crave it and you have to have some. So you know you and what your behavior is towards sugar. So you have to just realize that and then work with it. If you're unable to completely go cold turkey with sugar, just really try to reduce it, maybe a little bit each day, because it is to your benefit to try to be able to get off of the sugar. So some ways to minimize your sugar intake is definitely you want to eventually get to eliminating those soft drinks or sweetened iced teas or energy drinks. They have so much sugar in them. So like an average soft drink has 8 teaspoons of sugar. So if you have 1 can of like Coke or Mountain Dew, you've already exceeded your recommended daily amount of sugar. And then you have everything else you're eating. So you're getting a lot more sugar than you need. So how can you eliminate or minimize that? Start drinking more water. So water, clean filtered water is what our body needs for nourishment. So if you don't really like water, you can, they have infusers like pitchers with a tube in it that you can put fruits, vegetables, whatever kind of flavoring you would like from those natural beneficial nutrients that we get. It will help infuse the flavor of those fruits or vegetables, strawberries, watermelons, pineapple, grapefruit, blueberries, lemons, limes, raspberries, cucumbers, and even mint. You can flavor your water so it's more palatable, or squeeze a lime or a lemon or even an orange or a grapefruit squeeze in there to give it the flavor. And then if you feel like you need bubbles, you can always check out some seltzer water. Make sure, usually it's plain or oftentimes it's flavored. So just read the ingredients to make sure that the flavoring is just hopefully natural flavoring. But then you kind of want to wean off of that too, because carbonation leaches calcium from our bones, and that makes us more prone to osteoporosis or osteopenia, at least. And that just happens because of the age that we're in, our menopausal age that we're in. So you have to just be aware of that. So you want to eliminate also fruit juices. Those are so high in sugar. You can eliminate that by drinking water like we just talked about, or if you really feel like having that flavor, why not just grab a real piece of fruit instead? And then you can eat that and get the nutrition and nourishment from that. You definitely want to eliminate all your candies and sweets and baked goods. Stay away from the low-fat and diet foods because they just take away the fat, but they increase the sugar. So that's defeating the purpose. And then if you can try to stay away from recipes that omit sugar. Oftentimes there's so many recipes on Pinterest and the internet, and a lot of times you could just substitute sugar with maybe, depending on the recipe, like some of the spices like cinnamon or nutmeg, ginger, or maybe some vanilla, lemon, almond extract, peppermint, whatever fits the recipe. And then a lot of times there's recipes that add applesauce, unsweetened applesauce, to the recipe for the moisture and the sweetness. So like I said, you can check out lots of different recipes. And then there are natural sweeteners known as monk fruit or stevia, which are okay to use in moderation, but again, they do increase your blood sugar and your insulin levels. So suggested use in moderation. And then you definitely want to eliminate your processed foods because there is sugar in all those processed foods. So sugar, when you're looking at labels, has many, many different names. And instead of listing them all, because there are a lot of them, wasting time here, I'm going to give you a list of other names for sugar. So we've already really talked about the benefits of eliminating sugar when in our first module about eliminating our menopause symptoms. When we eliminate sugar, it gives us mental clarity. It gives us we notice increase in energy. We notice increase in our immune system, better skin. We have a healthier heart. Our hormones become more balanced. We have less chance of developing chronic diseases like diabetes, and our weight can stabilize too. And we don't get as many cavities. So there's a lot of win-win-wins for eliminating sugar. And, some things that help you to quit the sugar is a new lifestyle habit change would be to start reading your labels. So the ingredients in a product are listed from the most to the least, and they do have to tell you the amount of fats, the amount of sodium, the amount of carbohydrates, and the amount of sugar in there. So read your labels, and really when you're if you're following this core diet plan, you shouldn't have to read too many labels, because when you go shopping, you're going to be shopping pretty much around the perimeter of the store, buying foods that don't have labels. You're buying whole foods you're buying vegetables and fruits. You're buying the dairy section and maybe the freezer section with the frozen vegetables and fruits. The only things really would be canned beans and canned tomatoes or canned tomato sauces. Definitely you want to read the labels for those. And also maybe some boxes of the veggie pastas. So you definitely want to read those labels too. But another thing to minimize your sugar intake would be stop adding sugar to your foods, like putting it in your coffee or maybe sprinkling it on some grapefruit or adding it to cereal or whatever else you might be adding it to. Try to eliminate it and stop it. Don't drink the sugary soft drinks. Stop eating the sugary foods. Start eliminating the hidden sugars. Like if you really go to any coffee shop, unless you have a black coffee or an espresso or maybe a plain tea, whatever they put in those drinks are processed foods, the syrups, the powders that they use to make it creamy or whatever. It's all processed foods. So beware of what you're ordering and what it's made of. And that also goes with your condiments, the low fat or diet foods, your sauces, canned soups, frozen foods, and peanut butter. Peanut butter, the commercial peanut butters all have added sugar and added trans fat oils to them. So it's really important to read your labels. It's in canned fruit. You're going to eliminate your canned fruits, your boxed cereals, breads, already prepared smoothies, or, they say green juice or whatever, but read the labels because you want to look for the added sugar in there because there's a lot of it. So you want to eliminate those. And then any of the bars, like the protein or energy bars or granola bars, they all have added sugar to them too. So maybe you can try to make your own. And then vitamin water, just make sure that it's only got vitamins added and not some added sugars. And then you definitely want to, you have to eliminate those snacky foods like the crackers and, I don't know, pretzels, white breads, bagels, all the sweet foods, and then your pasta too. So definitely helps to read your labels and really do your best to try to minimize whatever you're putting in your body and make sure that you can eventually, at least if you can't stop cold turkey, eventually at least try to eliminate it something every day. Okay, we'll see you in the next video. Good luck with all that.